What most of us actually need isn't a more expensive home. It's a calmer one. And those are two very different things. Today, I'm counting down 10 designer secrets that transform any house into a place that actually relaxes you. Whether you're in a brand new build in Florida, a craftsman in the Pacific Northwest, or a stone colonial in Pennsylvania, every single one of these works. Not one requires a contractor. Not one requires heavy lifting. And most of them, you can do them this weekend with nothing more than a trip to the store and maybe a screwdriver. And I'll be honest, the number one secret on this list completely changed how I think about home design. It's not about what you add to a room, it's about what your eyes see first when you walk into one. That's going to make a lot more sense when we get there. Let's start the countdown with number 10. Number 10. Scent design. The scents nobody decorates for. We spend years choosing paint colors. We think carefully about how a room sounds, rugs, curtains, soft surfaces. But almost nobody designs for how their home smells. Your sense of smell connects directly to the emotional center of your brain. It's the only sense that does that. A familiar scent, one that reminds you of your grandmother's kitchen or the garden you kept for 20 years, can shift how a room feels before you've even looked around. This isn't about covering up odors with a department store candle. This is intentional. Lavender near the bed for winding down. Eucalyptus in the bathroom for that spa feeling. Cedarwood on a reading table for quiet evenings. And you don't need anything with a flame. A simple reed diffuser sits on a shelf and does the work for weeks. A potted rosemary on the kitchen counter. A small sachet of dried lavender in a drawer. Things you can set up in 10 minutes and enjoy for months, whether you're in a humid bungalow in Houston or a dry air condo in Scottsdale. The most relaxing homes don't just look calm. They feel calm in ways you can't photograph. And scent is the easiest place to start. Now, scent is one sense most people ignore. But there's another thing hiding in plain sight in almost every room of your home that's quietly making you tense. And you've probably never even noticed it. Number 9. Rounded forms over hard edges. Look around the room you're sitting in right now. Count the sharp 90-degree corners, your dining table, your coffee table, your shelving, your mirror frames. When everything in a room is angular, your eye bounces from edge to edge with nowhere to rest. It creates visual tension you don't consciously notice, but your body does. Now imagine swapping your square coffee table for an oval one, replacing that rectangular mirror with an arched one, adding a round tray on the console table. The room softens immediately. Your eye flows instead of stopping short. You don't need to throw out your furniture. One rounded element per room is enough. A round side table you already have in storage. An arched mirror leaned against the wall, no hanging required. A ceramic bowl on the kitchen island, things you can carry in from the car yourself. No installation, no contractor, no ladder. Walls, door frames, and windows are already straight lines. When your furniture echoes all those hard angles, the room feels rigid. When just one piece introduces a curve, the whole space breathes. Shapes change what your eyes feel. But there's something even more primal than shape, something your hands notice the second they touch a surface. And getting this wrong is one of the biggest reasons a home feels cold instead of calm. Number 8. Natural materials. What your brain already trusts. There's a reason you feel more relaxed on a wooden porch than on a vinyl deck. Your brain has been recognizing natural materials as safe for hundreds of thousands of years. Wood grain, woven linen, unglazed ceramic, natural stone. These textures signal shelter. Your nervous system reads them as familiar before you've even thought about it. High gloss surfaces, chrome finishes, and synthetic textures do the opposite. They reflect light unpredictably. They feel cold to the touch. Nothing about them says, settle in. You don't need to rebuild anything. This is about swaps you can make in an afternoon. A linen throw instead of polyester. A wooden tray instead of acrylic. A ceramic vase instead of glass. Wicker baskets instead of plastic bins. This works in any climate. A beachside house in the Carolinas. A desert ranch in New Mexico. A lake house in Michigan. Natural materials don't fight the environment. They belong to it. They absorb light instead of bouncing it. They age gracefully, the way a well-loved home should. Natural materials calm what your hands touch and what your eyes see during the day. But when the sun goes down, there's one room in your home where what you don't see matters more than anything. And most people get this completely wrong. Number 7. Blackout curtains, but only where they matter. Here's something I see all the time. Beautiful curtains in the living room, the dining room, the kitchen, and the thinnest, cheapest panels in the bedroom. The one room where curtains matter most gets the least attention. Blackout curtains in a bedroom aren't just about blocking light. They create a sense of enclosure, a feeling that this space is sealed off from the outside world. That's why hotels spend money on them. That total darkness when you draw the curtains closed, that's engineered rest. If you're in Arizona or South Florida, you know exactly what I'm talking about. That 5:30 sunrise punching through thin curtains will end your sleep whether you're ready or not. Blackout panels fix that immediately. The key is layering. A blackout panel alone can feel cave-like during the day, so you add a second layer, a light-filtering sheer underneath, or Roman shades for a cleaner look. Bright and airy during the day, sealed and dark at night. Someone asked me whether plantation shutters do the same job. They control light well, but they don't block it completely. If you're a light sleeper or your bedroom faces east, a true blackout panel makes a difference you'll feel every morning. What I wouldn't do is put blackout curtains in your living areas. Those rooms need daylight. The bedroom is about function, and the function of a bedroom is rest. You've earned a good night's sleep. Design that room like it matters. Controlling the light you block in the bedroom is powerful, but controlling the light you keep on in the rest of your home? That might be the single most underrated change you can make, and it costs less than dinner for two. Number 6. Dimmable lighting, the $15 transformation. If every light in your home has only 2 settings, blinding or off, your home is working against you every evening. Think about where else you've experienced on or off lighting. Hospitals, grocery stores, office buildings. Your home shouldn't feel like them after dark. Bright overhead light suppresses melatonin, the hormone that tells your body it's time to wind down. When you lower the lights after sunset, you're not just changing the mood, you're changing how your body physically responds to being in that room. A dimmer switch replaces a regular light switch in 20 minutes with one screwdriver. They cost around $15 each. Put them on your recessed lights, your pendants, your chandeliers, then add 2 or 3 lamps with dimmable bulbs. Warm light at eye level instead of cold light from the ceiling. This works everywhere. A 2-bedroom condo in Tampa, a colonial in Connecticut, a ranch house in Kansas. After 6 in the evening, the whole character of your home changes. For what you'd spend on a pizza, you're transforming how your home feels every night for years to come. Dimming the lights calms what your eyes take in. But here's the thing. Even in soft, beautiful light, if your eyes land on visible mess, the calm is gone. And the next secret solves that problem in a way you might not expect. Number 5. Closed storage and the curtain trick that changes everything. Open shelving looks stunning in magazine photos. In real life, it looks stunning for about 3 days. Then the mail arrives, the grandkids visit, the spice jars shift, and suddenly your display shelving is just a showcase for life happening. Closed storage, the ability to shut a door and hide the mess, creates instant psychological relief. You've lived long enough to know that perfection isn't realistic, but the ability to close a door on the imperfection, that's design working for you. Now, here's the real gem. For anyone who already has glass front cabinets or glass bookcases, you don't need to replace them. You add an interior curtain, a simple fabric panel mounted on the inside of the glass with a small tension rod. No drilling, no tools, no damage. 15 minutes. It hides everything behind it. It adds texture and softness, and it makes the whole piece look more intentional than it did before. I've heard from people who had glass bookcases full of grandchildren's toys, and this one solution fixed the problem without changing a single piece of furniture. Closed storage hides the physical mess, but there's a different kind of mess, an invisible one, that makes even a perfectly clean room feel stressful. And this next secret explains why a room can look great in a photo and still exhaust you when you're actually in it. Number 4. Activity zoning. One room, multiple lives, zero chaos. A room can be spotlessly clean, beautifully furnished, and still feel overwhelming. How? When too many activities live in the same space without boundaries. Your living room is where you watch your evening shows, but maybe it's also where you read, where the grandkids play when they visit, where you fold laundry. When one room serves 4 purposes and none of them has a defined space, your brain processes all 4 at once, even when you're only doing one. This matters more in smaller homes, which is exactly what many of us are moving into at this stage. Downsizing doesn't mean your life has fewer activities. It means those activities need to share space more intentionally. The fix is activity zoning. You don't need walls, you need definition. A rug that marks the sitting area, a side table with a reading lamp that becomes your quiet corner, a pretty basket that holds the grandkids' toys and slides behind the couch when they go home. Every activity should have a home within the room. When the activity is done, it retreats to its zone and the room resets. You're not adding square footage, you're adding intention. And intention is what makes a smaller home feel calm instead of cramped. You've spent decades managing a household. You know how to organize a life. This is just applying that same skill to how a room is laid out. Zoning controls the invisible mess inside a room. But what about the real physical mess that lands at your front door every single day? The next secret handles that. And there's a quiet debate among designers about the best way to do it. Number 3. Landing zones and the hooks versus closet debate. If you don't have a designated spot for bags, shoes, keys, and jackets near your entry, those items will create their own landing zone. Your kitchen counter, your dining table, or the back of the nearest chair. That's not a personal failing. That's just gravity. The solution: create a landing zone near every entry point you actually use. Hooks for bags and coats, a small tray for keys, a bench or low shelf for shoes. Give every everyday item an address and it stops being homeless clutter. Now, here's where designers disagree. Some swear by open peg hooks, everything visible, everything accessible. Others argue that open hooks are just organized clutter and that a closet or cabinet does the same job while keeping everything hidden. My take: hooks win in high-traffic entry points where speed matters. You're coming in with grocery bags and a purse and you need to drop things fast. A closet wins when the entryway is also a visible living space where you want clean walls. The mistake, the one that causes daily stress, is having neither. Pick the system that matches your real daily life, not a magazine photo, and your home stays calmer without extra thought. Landing zones solve what happens at your front door, but there's one spot in your home where you reach, dig, and crouch more than anywhere else, and fixing it might be the most satisfying change on this entire list. Number 2. Deep drawers over deep cabinets. This sounds like a small detail, but it changes how your kitchen or bathroom feels every single day. Standard lower cabinets are deep, dark boxes. To find what you need, you bend down, reach to the back, and pull things out until you uncover whatever's been hiding in there for weeks. That's not organized living. That's archaeology. Deep drawers change everything. You pull them open and everything is visible from above. Pots, pans, cutting boards, baking sheets, all laid out in one glance. No bending, no digging, no frustration. If a remodel isn't in the plans, here's the alternative: pull-out shelf inserts. They retrofit into existing cabinets. Most install with 4 screws. You order them to fit your cabinet width, slide them in, and suddenly that dark box becomes a fully accessible drawer. Whether it's a brand new kitchen in Sarasota or a 30-year-old kitchen outside Philadelphia, the result is the same. Every time you open that cabinet, you feel organized instead of overwhelmed. That feeling compounds hundreds of times a year, and you'll never want to go back. Every secret on this list so far has been about adding something: scent, curves, curtains, drawers, zones. But the number one secret? It costs absolutely nothing. It takes 5 minutes, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. This one changes everything. Number 1. Sightlines, the secret that changes everything. This is the most powerful design secret on the list, and not a single dollar is required. Stand in any doorway of your home right now. Look straight ahead. What is the very first thing your eye lands on? Now walk to your main hallway and look at what's at the end of it. Step into your living room from the kitchen. What do you see before anything else? Whatever sits at the end of a sightline sets the emotional tone for your entire home. If it's a pile of shoes, your brain registers disorder, even if the rest of the room is immaculate. If it's a clean surface, a piece of art, or a window with natural light, your brain registers calm, even if there's a mess just out of frame. This is why some homes feel peaceful the instant you walk in, and others feel chaotic even when they're technically clean. It's not about the total amount of stuff. It's about what your eyes meet first. The fix takes 5 minutes. Walk every sightline, every doorway, every hallway, every transition between rooms. If there's clutter at the end, move it. If there's a blank wall, place one intentional thing there. A plant, a framed photo, a lamp with a warm glow. You're not redecorating. You're directing attention. And after a lifetime of making your home work for everyone else, raising kids, hosting holidays, keeping everything running, it's worth 5 minutes to make sure your home feels right for you. Because that's what calm really is. It's your home finally reflecting the peace you've earned. 10 secrets. Not one requires a contractor, a renovation, or a weekend lost to a project. Scent, shapes, materials, light, storage, zones, sightlines. Calm isn't something you buy at a furniture store. It's something you design with intention, one small decision at a time. You've spent years making your home work for your family. Now it's time to make it work for you. If this list changed how you see your space, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments, which of these 10 are you trying first?